Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another self-studying Japanese video. So in my last video I showed you guys my vocabulary studying notebook. So if you want to see more about this, go check out the previous video. But today I'm going to be showing you guys how I study and practice the material that I learn. So I am pretty particular about the way that I do things. I have multiple notebooks to section everything out. So I showed you my vocabulary notebook, but I also have a grammar notebook. So let me show you guys that right now. So this is another notebook from Muji. I just love the paper quality. I think it's amazing. So let me just show you guys some of these pages here. So what I've done is put a little index page here. So I can put the little page number down here in the bottom right corner, and over here I can write what is on each page. So on this first page I decided to do verb conjugations. So I have regular, irregular verbs, and then how to conjugate them. So I kind of like to color coordinate and just do some bright colors to bring my focus to the page. Then over here I have the past tense of des and past tense of verbs, and then we also have how to conjugate adjectives. So I just put a little chart for e-adjectives, irregular adjectives, and not adjectives. Then we have particles, location words, days, days of the week, that kind of thing. And then this is the page that I've been working on most recently, and this is months and time words. So what I end up doing, because this paper is unlined, is I put a little grid paper behind it so that I can keep my lines straight. And I just think it looks really nice when you look at the page and the writing is actually going straight across the page. It might not be perfect, but it's better. It's a lot better than it would be if I hadn't put that grid paper behind it. I definitely cannot draw straight lines though, so that's just something I have to deal with. So this is how I take notes for things that are not vocabulary. And we'll go ahead and just flip through the textbook really quick just to kind of give you the general layout of a chapter. So we'll just go through the first chapter just because I have it open to that pretty much already. So at the beginning of the chapter they have a dialogue. So they have it in Japanese, and at the beginning they also have the Romaji, and then they have the translation. So then you will go on to the vocabulary page, which is here. So you have all of that. And then you have all of your grammar points. So you can highlight or whatever makes the most sense to you. This is when I was first learning, so I was highlighting a lot, but now I prefer to just make a notebook. So you can highlight whatever it is, and they usually have some different like expression notes and things like that. So this is like numbers, things of that sort. So I like to use the new vocabulary and the grammar that I've learned to do all of these practice exercises. So I'll just go through and complete all of these, and that gives me a good foundation of the material I just learned. So some of these are with a partner, so if you have a language learning partner, that would be awesome. If not, I kind of just skip over those for the most part, or just kind of make up answers for myself. And then at the end of each chapter, they usually have something like this useful expression. So this one is just time and age. And then you go on to the next chapter. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do you know that you are doing it properly since you self-study? And that is why I would recommend getting the answer key book. So this can go, this has answers for both the textbook and the workbook. So you can go through and see if your answers are correct. So for these different exercises, I wouldn't recommend doing them just like in your head. I would write them down, and then you can cross-reference them with the answer key. In the back of the book, there's also hiragana, katakana, and then kanji practices. So the first two chapters are hiragana and katakana, and then you go on to kanji. So then you have the kanji, some of the pronunciations, and then some example words, and then you also have some practice exercises there as well. After I've learned all of that new material, then I like to go in with the workbook, and essentially it's just even more practice. So this really, after I've done the workbook, I either really understand the material, or I realize that there's something I wasn't understanding and I can go back and review. So then I'll go through and do all of these exercises. So it's a lot more writing practice, which is really important, just so you get really comfortable writing hiragana and katakana, and then eventually you'll also want to incorporate your kanji as well. So like here, this one was a group exercise, so I couldn't do that one, but that's okay because I feel pretty comfortable with the numbers. So then there's also listening comprehension exercises. So this actually comes with a CD in the back of the workbook, and you can pop this into a computer or a CD player, probably a computer though, so you can go through and select the chapter and which exercise you're working on. So you can go through and you can listen and practice your listening comprehension, because as a self-studier, if you don't have a language partner, it's kind of hard to practice your speaking and listening. So maybe even when you're doing these listening exercises, maybe repeat back just to do some speech practice. So again, these are all listening comprehension, which I think is so important. I'm so glad they include that in this workbook. And then they just have some more questions, and then you go on to the next chapter. So this goes on for every chapter. You have like a varying amount of exercises for each. So sometimes it's like 6 to 7, sometimes it's more like 10. I think one of the chapters had quite a few. It might have been this third chapter. The third chapter has like 9 or 8, but in the back of the workbook, there's also the kanji that you learned in the textbook. So this one is all the hiragana, and then we have the katakana ones, and then you have kanji. So if this is new information, probably want to write these down and practice stroke order and things like that, which they do teach you in the book. And then you have some more exercises for your kanji here just to really solidify that knowledge. So that is how I've been using my Genki textbooks to self-study Japanese. If you guys have any other questions, make sure you leave them down below. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like if you enjoyed, subscribe to stick around for more videos, and check out my other videos if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!